Welcome back. You're still tuned into Midcap Radar. Well, let's talk about trends from the realty space and specifically on senior living. Ambit Capital put out an interesting note. They spoke about how there is a lot of space or opportunity in the senior living space because in India, size of the market is around 10,000 plus units, which compares with UK, which has 7,54,000 units in the senior living space, which compares with US at 5,20,000 and Australia at 3,05,000. So senior population in India is just around 10%, which compares with around 14% in UK and 17% in US and Australia. Now let's go ahead and talk about what the penetration rate in these four countries are. In India, it is less than 1%. But in UK, it's around 11%. In US, it's more than 6%. And if we talk about the Australian markets, it's around 6.7%. So while the other markets are growing, India is still at a very nascent stage. So let's go ahead and talk about what the outlook is going forward in this particular space. And one company which caters to the senior living space as well, Ashiana Housing is the stock on our radar. It has surged nearly 82% this year so far. Company also operates in premium homes projects dedicated to senior citizens. They say that it has a potential to grow around 6 to 11 times. We have with us Varun Gupta, director at Ashiana Housing, to take some questions about this particular segment and also about the business. Varun, thank you so much for joining us on this show today. So I just wanted to understand what percentage of your sales is coming in from a senior living space. Are you looking at more expansion here, the launch pipeline? How much of it is in this segment?
Good afternoon. So currently about 20% of our sales will be coming from the senior living space. But we expect this to go across a third of our sales going forward in the future. Approximately about 35 to 40% of our future launches are in this space that we have. We are quite bullish on this space, as the Ambit report also shows that we are under-penetrated. And I think India is going through the transition economically and demographically where we see a bright future for this. So therefore, we have a larger proportion of our projects in the future are in senior living as compared to our current sales mix.
So Varun, say, 5 years from now, what portion do you think it could contribute to your overall, just the senior living portion?
So I think it should contribute between a third to about a half. I would say 35 to 40% of our sales, my view would be coming from the senior living space. So 5 years is a long time. Things can change, but I would say probably the outlook on senior living should get better as we go later into the years, because India will age more and also will become more prosperous, better educated with better healthcare. All of that should lead to more demand for senior living.
Okay. So how big is this market? 10,000 plus units is what we are seeing right now. That is as per Ambit. So just wanted to understand what is the market opportunity that is there available for the industry, and also in terms of pricing, is it different for the other units?
Ma'am, so senior living right now is a very small size. It's irrelevant to even talk about how big the market is today as compared to what the opportunity in the future is. Right now, we are just sort of a nascent phase of the market where we are still educating customers about what senior living is and how living in there is very different from living in a normal group housing community or other alternatives that could be there. Pricing for senior living homes are generally higher than regular group housing projects. They are priced at a premium. They're specialized product with specialized design and specialized maintenance services with targeting a very different audience. And therefore, in the same micro markets where we operate both with premium homes and senior living typically takes a premium to premium.
So how much of a premium is there typically to say, a house which is not there, or just what is the realization that you would typically get on these projects?
So they could vary in a very large proportion, probably varying between 10 to 35% of premium pricing. It depends on the micro market it addresses, because there might be micro markets where senior living is just able to attract a higher socioeconomic gentry as compared to general housing projects. The more the capability of that product in that location to get a higher socioeconomic gentry, the higher the premium pricing that could be done. So it varies depending on the micro market, on the premium we can.
Okay, 30 to 35% higher than the normal projects because of the facilities which are provided there. So Varun, if you can give us a sense of what your realizations will look like in that case. You've seen a consistent increase. On an average, it was around 5,080 rupees a square feet. With the mix changing and with more projects in pipeline coming in, what will it look like?
I think we should now be in the 6,000 rupee a square foot ballpark figure on a weighted average basis. Quarters might vary depending on the weights of the projects. But annually, I think 6,000 rupee per square foot price point is what we are considering across our mix of projects.
Okay, and could you just give us a sense of overall what demand has looked like in Q3? We're well into the pretty much at the end of the quarter. So how has it looked like? Has it been significantly better from what we saw in Q2 as well?
No, so Q3 is generally a weak quarter for us. I think it's a quarter, particularly this time when Diwali is a little later than earlier. You have the Shraddh period also in this, and festival period generally for us is a slow period because people are busy buying sort of white goods and other things, and a very celebratory zone, particularly in North India. So home sales are slower, and then you hit Malmas also in December. So Q3 is overall been a weak quarter for us this quarter. But I would say that's an aberration because of seasonality that comes in Q3 every year. And we remain confident of getting to our 1,500 crore pre-sales target this year, with the fourth quarter being a little launch-heavy quarter for us. Also for us, Q3, we had limited stock to sell. Our launches got tagged to Q4 because of some approval delays at our end. So that has also been a little slower for us, particularly as compared to the market that we did not have as much inventory in Q4.
Okay, all right. So this is about demand. Can you give us a sense of the case with respect to Milakpur and Kolkata land? The last time we had spoken, you said there is no update there. Anything expected now in the next quarter? And is there an amount that is stuck there?
There are amounts stuck there, but they're not significant from our balance sheet perspective. They're not material amounts on a book value basis that is gone, though Milakpur land on a market perspective is significantly more valuable than the book value which is stuck. In Milakpur, there has been no movement so far. In Calcutta also, there is no specific movement to talk about at this moment of time. I'm hopeful that we will be able to resolve the matter in Calcutta soon. Either we are able to exit the project or find some things with the landlords that we can resolve the matter.
All right, Varun, we're going to leave it on that note, but thanks a lot for joining us and taking us through this very interesting chat. It's, interesting to hear about this senior living segment, the fact that you do think that it will go so much higher in the coming years as well, and that the pricing is at quite a premium to what you would otherwise see as well. So that is the management of Ashiana Housing speaking to us. But with that, it is time for a short break.